All right, we are running in the rain. I had a window this morning of where it's dumping rain, and then a brief window where it's not raining. And for me personally, I've always found that I don't mind running and biking in the rain, as long as it's not raining the minute that I start. After I start, it can dump like it's doing right now. Doesn't bother me. So there was a small break, and I got going, and now it's raining pretty good. But with the East Texas 400 coming up, I thought if I had a choice, I could bike indoors this morning, but biking was the last thing that I did. And it's Tuesday and I haven't run since Saturday, so that feels better, to do that. It's better distribution of workouts. And great opportunity to test out what gear works in the rain, and also how to use it in the rain and how it performs in the rain. 400-mile bike race, half of it through Pine Forest on service roads. You're talking probably 3 days. Very good chance it'll rain. And you're going at night. Y'all can't tell because the camera lights this up pretty good, but I started off in the dark. And what I'm using today is, those lights that go on your helmet that point forward and rear and just clip on, and they last forever. They're really safety lights. They're not navigation lights. But I found that bike safety lights really do work well for running. It's hard to outrun the light on that. A little bit of light makes all the difference running. You don't need tons. And then on my wrist, it's got all these modes, right? And so on the wrist, it's blinking red backwards. So I just strap it on like that on the underside of my wrist, and then it points forward. Red light points back. And then something new that I'm trying is I got a safety orange handkerchief. It's actually kind of long. It's more like a shop cloth, but it's made out of tech fabric. So it won't get heavy with water and sweat. Feel that wind coming. There's a major front coming through. And then something that's just so cars can see me a little bit better, along with the light. So I'll probably bring that with me on the bike race. It starts March 27th, 28th, I think. So we got some time. And then Swift Kick socks. Man, they make socks that do not hold on to water and can be just fantastic. I can't remember if they're like a wool blend or something, but I was doing pretty well and then just stepped in a huge puddle in the dark. And then the water, every step, the socks, the compression of the step just squeezes the water out. That's pretty nice. And then Clifton's, Hoka Clifton 9s have a really high platform, And that actually keeps you out of water and mud. Nicely. I'm practicing running on both sides of the road and on knee and ankle stability. And then as far as gear for the bike, I'm trying to go on a really tight budget, see how far I can get with just what I got. And again, my mindset is just to, oh, I need to take fuel, I forgot. My mindset is, see, I've got a beep reminder on my watch. Just to see how far I can get. Like open water swimming, this kind of thing, bike packing through the woods is majorly weather dependent. If it rains a lot, then you're going nowhere and trudging, and it's not really a gravel race anymore. It's more of a mud race. So I've got no beliefs that I'm going to make the entire 400. I'm just going to try to see how far I can get and learn a lot along the way, and also share with y'all what I found works for me and what I would do differently. Maybe see y'all out there next year. It'd be pretty cool. And I am keeping the ultra beard for a while. I found that over the winter it was really, really nice. I got a beard and then a neck gaiter, and you pull that up over your face in the cold and the wind, and the two layers really create a nice insulating layer. Keep your face warm. Let's see, yesterday I got from Kai my old 50 millimeter front tire. It has a few miles on it, maybe a couple hundred miles, maybe at most. And then I vulcanized, patched, and nearly brand new Sawtooth, Specialized Sawtooth 42 millimeter tire for the rear. I rode it once and it got a double puncture, like maybe from a staple or something like that. It would not seal no matter how many plugs I put in it. So I do need to run a new rear tire because my old tire's getting worn down, which really increases the chance of getting a flat. So I vulcanized patched it, which is there's like a super glue that melts rubber, almost like welding it. So you put another rubber patch on top of it, and the two of them together weld together chemically, and then the tire should be permanently fixed forever. And then, so I've got those two tires, and what I'm waiting on is two things in the mail. The only two things I've bought so far is, let's wait till we get out of this wind here. Tell this front's coming in. The new Silka sealant that is supposed to be just insanely good. Well, actually, I'm gonna set this to a blinky mode here. Yeah, see that? Blink, 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 blink. One forward, one back. Now that I don't need light anymore. And that Plus the tires, the newish tires. Well, pretty much brand new tires. The front's just a tiny bit worn, like I said. But I should be good to go. I'm going to mount those after the sealant comes in. And then my suspension stem, I have a Redshift suspension stem, and it is glorious. And that plus a fat front tire, like a 50 or a 47, 48, at low pressure at like 28 PSI, just takes the edge off of the bumps. And surprise hits are the worst. So the suspension stem's awesome for that, for stopping the surprise hits from knocking you off your bike. And I'm doing this run after doing a hard 4-hour gravel ride, intentionally doing the hills overly hard for training. And then let's see. Oh, so the elastomers, the stem has elastomers in it, and I've had the stem probably 2-3 years now. They seem to be, they've lost their resistance. So I think that was $20. The sealant was $45. And then what I'm going to do is share that with Kai, that sealant, so he can stop getting flats during his races. I need a sip of water. And then what I'm down to that's still a problem. Oh, and Kai gave me his lights. So I have 3 lights. And then that gets into battery power. So running stuff, draining the battery, keeping all these things charged. It's a big problem. I found one of my battery packs, but one ain't gonna do it. Hey, look, a Rivian. And battery packs are like power banks, are everywhere. So I reached out to Gary and said, hey, do you have any spare battery pack? I have 2 and I can only find 1 right now, you know, and the race is coming up. And he said, man, I got tons of them. And actually I would prefer to have several, like what, instead of one big one, I would like to have several. And then you got backups where you can use one while another one's charging. And then there's this battery pack that you can use to attach to your bike computer to keep your bike computer running. I don't have one of those. I don't have the money to buy one right now. You know, with the race registration and buying the few other little things, I'm trying to save money for Kai's college and all that. So, okay, let's go. I don't know why I stopped. And Gary said, I've got a spare bike computer. I'll let you use it. So a Garmin 820. So what I can do is use my 840, and then when that dies, put it on a charger, and then we're gonna cross because this is all mucky and muddy. But we usually go that way, but it looks pretty nasty when it gets wet. There's not a sidewalk; it's just mud. Anyway. And then for double backup, I've got 2 running watches, and I could load the course on them. And then use those as backups. And I think between all of those, I should be able to go 3-4 days. You gotta remember, you gotta charge lights and your phone too. That's a lot of power. And that's one of the reasons where I'm just kind of going until until I can't go anymore. And we have spot GPS trackers on us, so if things get terrible and get plucked out, you could literally abandon the bike in the woods, hide it under some bushes and shrubs and branches, go back and get it later, and hike out of there if your bike's broken or something. Get help. And another thing and last thing is, because I'm gonna be doing plenty of these little updates as we get ready for the race. See, like, here's a deep water spot. Y'all can't see it. I'm gonna walk through here. And the higher height on the shoe stack gets me through that. I mean, my feet are already wet. I don't want them not wet. It's good training too. Obstacle coursing on your run course. Practicing navigating. I think that was lightning. Lightning. Yep, that was lightning. Woo! Just don't be the tallest thing, and there's lots of other tall things. So. So the other thing, this morning, I stepped outside. I left my headphones in the car, and I was like, "Oh, it's kind of warm." It's like 70 degrees, right? And I thought, okay, if I can get a window to start where it's not raining, which I did, practicing wet weather and night stuff is way easier when it's warm. And I said, so this is a good opportunity. So I'm running no shirt. Totally fine in the rain. But with practicing all my lights, visibility, with wet feet. Just trying to toughen myself up a little bit in case race day sucks. Oh yeah, and then the very last thing is I've started doing push-ups because I noticed on my last gravel ride that my triceps got a little tired. And I'm like, oh man. Now I've been doing a lot lately, but we cannot have triceps getting tired. Because then you can't hold yourself up on the bike anymore. So the push-ups have begun, daily push-ups. I think I did about 30 yesterday. I think about 35. And that's it. So everybody get tough out there, but within reason. Be safe. You could do all kinds of crazy crap if you got lights on. And stay on a known path. Oh, it's really coming down now. Okay. Stay safe out there. Work the uphills, cruise the downhills, keep the rubber side down, out big.